Improve your airflow with this smart tower fan. Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out this. This is the Provirtec WindMaster Smart Tower Fan. Pretty straightforward. It is 36 inches tall and it's 12 inches across at the base. And let's start here. You have to assemble the base. It's pretty easy. So there's two parts. You clip them together. You then put it on the base of the fan. There's a big nut that comes off, and then you put the nut back on. And then there are 4 screws, and it even includes a screwdriver, so you don't need any external tools. Total elapsed time, I don't know, 4 minutes if you're careful, 2 minutes if you're rushing it. Don't rush it, because you really want it to be nice and stable so that you don't have any issues with it falling down. And that is exactly as stable as it should be. So it's actually a really nice fan. So it is a 90-degree oscillation. You're seeing that. And it has a big display on the front. It's a little hard to see because I'm in a very brightly lit environment, but it actually shows you the current temperature in the room. And where that's really cool is because it has smart features, so it can track the temperature, and as the temperature starts to rise, it can actually increase the fan speed and then slow it back down as the room cools off. There's also a sleep mode. In fact, there are 4 modes. There's nature, cool, auto, and sleep. And while you can hear, it's pretty darn quiet. In sleep mode, it just has all the settings that make it as slow as possible. And so it's 6 speeds. I'm on speed 1. Let's use the remote control and speed it up a little bit. So that's on its top speed. And it's a little hard to illustrate how much air is pushing out, but here's a piece of paper. And you can see it's got plenty of oomph on it to push that paper even if I'm pretty far away. And of course I have to follow the oscillation. And so I really like it. It's one of these things where you're going to put it in a corner. So a 90-degree oscillations like that. So you don't want it in the middle of a room because it won't go 180. But if you put it in a corner, it has plenty of power to push out air to the distant corners. And again, listen, it's a little bit louder, but not significantly. So in terms of airflow, they say on maximum power, which is what we have right now, it's at 1,400 cubic feet per minute of air coming through. And so other cool features, it has a 24-hour timer. So if you worry that you get up in the morning and you rush off to work and you forget to turn off your fan, then you could just use the timer to set it so that it actually runs until like 9 in the morning and then turns off. So really straightforward. Now, where this is really cool is with the app. But before we get there, let me show you the buttons on the top and give you a quick button tour. So you can lower the speed with the minus, increase the speed with the plus, access the different modes with the middle button, and then on the lower section you have timer, power, and oscillation. And then all of those are duplicated on the remote control, though slightly disappointingly the remote isn't circular, which would have been really fun, but probably more expensive to manufacture. So that's basic functionality, but where this gets really fun is that you can actually hook it up with an app that they have. And here's a challenge, is the manual doesn't list the name of the app. So it is not a Provirtec app. It is actually called Provirtec. So you want to look in your app store for this app, and then I'm going to bring it up here. And let's see, I've not yet paired it because I thought it would be fun to do that on camera. So here we are in the app and it hasn't seen anything. So I'm going to say plus, and let's see, let's see, what do we see here? Add device, 1 device found, wireless camera. That is not what we're looking for. Let's look for home appliance, and let's see. I will assume it's this one. And so let's see, add device. We have to long press on the power button for 3 seconds. but let's use Bluetooth because that makes it a lot easier. So there it is, TF01. And there we go. It's going to take 120 seconds to pair. I'm going to just jump forward. I didn't even need to. So that 120 seconds was just a little bit of generosity here. So I'm going to just choose finish. And now we have it. And so now let's see what we can do control-wise. So it's connecting, and probably I should have used Wi-Fi earlier. I'm sure I can change that later, but I want to be able to access my fan even if I'm in a different place. And why that might be helpful? Well, if it's a particularly hot day, it might be really nice to turn the fan on before you get home to start cooling down your space. But we can see, let's go into cool, and notice that it was pretty much instantaneous, which was really nice. And then I can drop the speed down. We'll do it to 4. And then there are these scenes. So it supports 5 different scenes, and you can set it up where, like, if it's in the living room and at certain points in the day you're doing yoga with the TV, and at other points in the day you're just relaxing and watching your favorite streaming series, you can have those as 2 different scenes. Maybe one doesn't oscillate and just gives you maximum power. That would be yoga. And then the other one does oscillate in that nature mode so that you have a nice relaxed experience with just a little bit of air circulation. I can turn off the oscillation, turn it back on. And here's something really important. For those of you that like a really dark sleep environment, you can turn the display off. And let's see, it's still on. I think it will turn off momentarily, but it turns out that there's actually a sequence on the top that you can also use. So if you want to turn off the display with the unit itself, then push power plus timer, push both of those for 3 seconds. There's also a child lock feature, similar idea. Power plus oscillation for 3 seconds will then disable the touch panel, other than for you to push it a second time to turn off that lock feature. And that's nice if you have kids that are constantly monkeying with things. And I wanted to show you couple more things. So I'm going to spin this around. Let's see, let's actually first turn off the oscillation. And then I'm going to turn it around because there's 2 things on the back that are important. The first one is there's actually somewhere to stash your remote control, which I really like. I guess it goes in sideways, because these little remote controls just get lost, especially if you're moving or something. Good luck, right? But now here, this has actually a place you can stash it. Very smart engineering. But even better is that there's a screw that you can open up, and then you can pop the panel off and pop the interior blades off, and then rinse them off in your sink. I will tell you, I live in a dusty environment and my fans get pretty darn dusty. So it's really nice to have that option. And one more thing they did, which is a really cool piece of engineering, subtle, but on the power plug itself is a fuse that you can actually replace. You can see it in this picture, and that's really great. So it's just an additional piece of safety there. So let me turn this back around. I think that's pretty much everything I can tell you about this fan. It is really nice. I really like the design. I like that I can hook it up with my Alexa or my Google Home, because it does have that capability through the app. And it's really everything you need to know if you're looking for a floor fan, a tower fan for an office or a bedroom or the nursery or just a living space. This is a really solid option. It'd be great in a dormitory. And again, you can be walking back to your dorm and you can pull up the app and say, go, and it can just start cooling things off, which might surprise the heck out of your dorm mate, but hey, you know, they should have turned it on already anyway. So, definitely one to check out. Let's talk about price. Before that, let me ask you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button, hit that bell icon for notifications, and give me a thumbs up if you found this of value, and certainly hope that you did. Cool. This is the Provirtec WindMaster Smart Tower Fan, and it's $79.99 currently discounted down to $59.99 at Amazon.com. That's $59.99 for a smart fan with app that can integrate with your smart home. That's a killer price. This is definitely a great way to cool off, and who doesn't want that? Cool. I'll catch you in my next video.